City lights fading slow. Find the warm, find the low, into the low, into the low. Let me go into the low. In the space between the words we said, there was everything we meant. In the silence of the unmade bed was every moment that we spent. The space between is where I live, between the take and the give. The space between is soft and real, the only place I truly feel. take my night inventory slow, counting what I kept and what I lost, not judging where I chose to go, just noting what each moment cost. Night inventory, piece by piece, finding what deserves release. Night inventory, soft review, keeping only what stays true. Tonight I'm keeping the small warmth of someone's laugh I almost forgot. The moment when the rain turned north and everything was what it's not. Night inventory, piece by piece, finding what deserves release. Night inventory, soft review, keeping only what stays true. This is not a purge, this is not accounting, this is just the quiet work of knowing what I'm carrying, still taking stock, finding more than I expected. That's enough for tonight. quiet orbit, mine to keep, moving while the city sleeps. Quiet orbit, wide and slow, circling what I need to know. In quiet orbit, still circling, still me. I come to settle my night debt in the quiet of the late hour. Everything I haven't dealt with yet, everything beyond my power. Night debt, what I owe the dark for the shelter of its quiet mark. Night debt, settling slow, paying back what the dark bestows. Night debt, soft and clear in the honest dark. I'm not so feared. The dead is always manageable in the late and quiet black. Nothing here is unmanageable when you lay flat on your back. Night debt, what I owe the dark for the shelter of its quiet mark. Night debt, settling slow, paying back what the dark bestows. Night debt, soft and clear in the honest dark. I'm not so feared. Debt settle for tonight. The dark asks so little, just presence. There's a pulse below the quiet, something living in the low. Not a noise, more like a riot, where small things beginning to grow. Pulse below, constant and slow, everything I'll ever know. Pulse below, warm and deep, moving even while I sleep. Pulse below, mine to keep, The current and the rush of things, now I find the most improving in what the stillness finally brings. Still water, mirror of the night, holding everything in quiet light. Still water, soft and wide, everything I feel inside, reflected back without a word, the clearest thing I've ever heard. Still so I dissolve slowly into evening, like something solid finding liquid form, not disappearing, just releasing the edges that protected from the storm. Slow dissolve, let the edges go into the warm below. Slow dissolve, soft and wide, everything melting from inside. Slow dissolve, warm release, edges softening into peace. The boundaries I kept so tightly have started finding their own give. I hold myself a little lightly and find more room in which to live. Slow dissolve, let the edges go into the warm below. Slow dissolve, soft and wide, everything melting from inside. Slow dissolve, warm release, edges softening into peace. Dissolving slowly into the warm, into the dark, into the quiet. Something in the air has shifted. Something softer fills the hall. City after rain, washed clean, the most honest it has ever been. City after rain, new and white, everything the storm swept aside. Now the city can breathe again. The city always breathes after rain. Underfoot, the pavement dark with what came down, the air made soft and understood. City